Dragonball drip 24/7.
Alright guys, we got another video here, and this one is called What If Goku Never Held Back? Should be interesting. Let's check it out.
One of the biggest complaints that gets frequently levied against the writing and characters of Dragon Ball is that many have an issue with Goku seemingly holding back all the time. After all, there are many instances throughout the story where Goku does not use his full strength for one reason or another. It's not really in Goku's nature to go 100% from the very get-go. Maybe he was just gauging an opponent's power, maybe he wanted to hide a transformation, or maybe he was already so much stronger than his opponent that going all out really wasn't necessary. But that got me thinking, what if Goku didn't hold back during these fights? What if against every opponent in a major fight, Goku was fighting to take them down from the very beginning with...
Well, technically, he didn't hold back on Frieza. He tried, but Frieza wouldn't allow that. And so I think that's the only person that he actually just let it all go, and it ended up taking Frieza's life. But, you know,
every ounce of power he had available. Would things go better than the original story? Would they actually end up far worse? Today, we're going to use a mix of Dragon Ball Z power scaling, narrative analysis, and what if writing to find out what if Goku never held back. If you like this kind of stuff, make sure to like, subscribe, and let's jump right in. Starting from the very beginning of original Dragon Ball, the only difference in this timeline is that Grandpa Gohan was just a slightly more aggressive teacher to Goku, imbuing in him with the same beliefs and knowledge, with the one change that he was to never ever hold back against an opponent, which would be a lesson that this version of Goku would carry for the rest of his life and influence how he faced every person he ever fought. Now, I think a grand majority of the important fights in OG Dragon Ball would still pretty much go the same. Due to power levels and Ki not really having been fleshed out yet, there are fewer instances of Goku actually explicitly limiting his power. Many fights would end up just being a bit faster, like his fight against the Mummy would go from like 2 pages to 1 page instead. Fights that Goku lost, he would still obviously lose, like against old Demon King Piccolo or his first round against Tao, as he already went all out against these guys and lost anyways. However, keep in mind, I said major fights. In original Dragon Ball, Goku goes up against a lot of opponents who are ostensibly normal humans, and he is almost always holding back against these guys. Remember, even in the first arc, Goku is shattering logs and boulders with his bare hands and surviving bullets and entire rock formations crashing down on his head. In other words, the number of fighters being sent to the hospital or probably being killed by Goku is likely pretty high. Think about all of those preliminary rounds Goku goes through in the first 3 Tenkaichi Budokai. For most of original Dragon Ball, and especially by the time of the 23rd Budokai, if Goku isn't holding back, for most people, Goku would essentially be One Punch Man, literally annihilating most of his opponents even if he didn't intend to kill them, merely due to the gap in strength. Like, even flicking an air pressure from suppressed punches were taking people out, and you expect them to survive a full power serious punch from Goku? So, for the sake of making Goku not a mass murdering serial killer, we'll be saying he doesn't hold back against actual enemies.
Can we agree that the OG Dragon Ball series was peak?
You ain't lying.
Can anybody agree with me who's watching this video? Leave your comments down below if you thought OG Dragon Ball was the shit, because I for one think it is. I still love OG Dragon Ball. From OG Dragon Ball all the way up to the end of the Frieza saga, that's like my favorite timeline in all of Dragon Ball. There would not be another one like it. Yes, we have to see what, you know, Dragon Ball Super is going to do with these next arcs, but it was just nothing like it.
Or at least finds a way to not kill the good guys he's fighting. Maybe he would just use the air pressure punch he used against Chi-Chi far more. So moving on to Dragon Ball Z, we get to where the outcome and the way fights go really beginning to change, as power levels are introduced and makes how much someone is or isn't trying far more clear. Despite that, Goku's first fight of the arc against Raditz would ironically barely change, as again, him and Piccolo toss off the weighted clothing at the very beginning and are pretty much going all out for the entire rest of the fight, as Raditz was so much stronger than them. Instead, the first major change would be Goku versus Nappa. In the original story, Goku Goku and Nappa have quite an extended match, with Nappa being essentially evenly matched against Goku, or at least so durable that Goku doesn't think he can defeat him very quickly in his base form, being eventually forced to use Kaioken. However, in this timeline, Goku goes all out from the very start and uses Kaioken immediately against Nappa. I think it is infinitely more interesting here if Goku uses Kaioken times 3 from the very beginning. This would instantly destroy Vegeta's scouter, but not before showing him that Goku's power level was at least 21,000, 3,000 points higher than his own. This would ostensibly speed run past the entirety of the Goku versus Vegeta fight, likely making Vegeta freak out about how Goku has surpassed him, meaning the moment that Goku one-shots Nappa, he would immediately have to engage an enraged and not holding back Vegeta, but while already feeling the physical drawbacks of using Kaioken times 3. This fight would still be close. Goku with Kaioken times 3 did majorly have an upper hand against Vegeta, but only for so long. It would still likely end up with Goku just barely winning against Vegeta in a beam struggle. However, in this scenario, there is a major difference that would set it apart from the original. Gohan and Krillin are already there. Remember, with Vegeta and Goku immediately fighting, they never took time to fly to somewhere else to fight. So Krillin and Gohan would be nearby and not need to fly back to the fight. I think Krillin in particular would shake things up as Vegeta lands back down and monologues to Goku, preparing to turn into an Ozaru. Krillin has a chance to genuinely injure fatigued Vegeta with a Destructo Disc, as even in the original story, Vegeta as a great ape legitimately had to dodge the attack in order to save his tail. Now, to be fair, Vegeta was able to figure out this exact plan in the original story, so if Vegeta is paying attention, he might be fine. But I think realistically, and honestly, Krillin's best opportunity would just to be to attack Vegeta mid-Great Ape transformation, as he clearly doesn't seem to be very agile or be able to attack during that time. So in this timeline, regardless of why, I think Great Ape Vegeta just never happens. From that point on, the fight against Vegeta becomes far easier. Goku isn't nearly as fatigued or injured, even with the Kaioken times 3 usage, and Gohan, Krillin, and potentially Yajirobe are all providing support. Just like before, Goku would spare Vegeta, and now Goku isn't nearly as injured because he never fought Ozaru Vegeta. This means that the single biggest change now occurs. Goku is going on the first trip to Namek with Gohan, Krillin, and Bulma. This causes two instantaneous massive changes. Number one, Goku was on Namek far sooner than he was in the original story, and number two, Goku does not get to train in the gravity chamber. While Goku would have a month to train with Krillin and Gohan, without the gravity chamber or sensu beans to instantly heal himself after getting fatigued, he is simply not breaking his limits like he would have and would not get anywhere close to the 90k power level he had upon arriving to Namek. Realistically, with knowing how strong Vegeta was, he would probably end up slightly stronger than base Vegeta, with a power level around 20,000, less than a quarter of what it would have been otherwise. Regardless, things would immediately be a lot different. Arriving on Namek, the same confrontation would play out between the Namekian village and Frieza and his men, but this time Goku is also watching. With a power level of 20k, Goku is already nearly equal to Zarbon and Dodoria, and with any amount of Kaioken, is making it a gargantuan stomp, and would instantly destroy all scouters in the area just by powering up. So in this scenario, either if Goku jumps in to save the day, or if it's just to follow Gohan after he attacks Dodoria, Kaioken times 4 Goku with an 80k power level is instantly obliterating Zarbon and Dodoria before they can even blink. But there is a massive issue. Frieza. This would immediately prompt Frieza to step in.
And then it would probably be night-night because they wouldn't be up to par, even if it was Vegeta and Goku and Piccolo, unless they attacked Frieza in his base form right now, what you see on the screen. If they attacked him, they could get him out of there and not give him a chance to, you know, transform. If you guys all know the OG Dragon Ball Z in comparison to Dragon Ball Z Kai, it took Frieza like forever to transform, okay, to power up. It lasted like episodes, okay? So at any time, Vegeta wouldn't do it, but Goku would probably not let him get that time. Neither would Piccolo. Piccolo was like, yo, let's get him out of here. We don't got time for this. Let's not let him transform. And they probably could have got him out of there, in my opinion.
if his two or at least one of his henchmen just got instantly killed in front of him, and the story would end right then and there. This fight would essentially just be Frieza versus Nail, with Goku getting casually bullied by Frieza and everyone else soon after. So let's say Goku doesn't fight Zarbon and Dodoria, and so Frieza has no reason to fight, and everybody is able to escape with Dende like in the original story. Unlike in the original story, Vegeta would be a non-factor on Namek. Either due to the fight with Dodoria, or just sensing them flying, Vegeta and Goku would come into direct confrontation, and Vegeta is getting slammed by an anywhere from 40k to 80k power level Kaioken Goku, with Vegeta's barely in the 20k area at this point, as I don't think he'd be willing to just join them. With a gap that large, Vegeta would be left similarly to how he was at the end of the fight on Earth, barely able to move, with no access to healing pods or Namekian healing. Vegeta might just be out of the picture entirely for a good part of this arc. Eventually, I think Goku would run into Zarbon and Dodoria and defeat them with ease as well, but the major issue becomes that Frieza still has 5 Dragon Balls, with the others still in the Namekian villages, as Vegeta never got to them. With Vegeta never finding Zarbon, he never gets a Zenkai or healed on Frieza's ship, which also means he never steals Frieza's Dragon Balls either. But what does change for the better is that Goku would be able to meet Guru and get his potential unlocked, which I think would bring him back to the 90,000 power level that he should have had when arriving on Namek, as again, at the time, this was the limit to Goku's potential. Eventually, for one reason or another, the Ginyu Force would arrive, and things would have nearly returned to their state in the original canon. It's just that Gohan, Krillin, and Vegeta would not have to fight the Ginyu Force. Goku would handle all of them on his own. Unlike in the original story though, Goku would not hold back against Ginyu. Instead of just showing that he could use Kaioken ×2, he would instantly use it off-rip against Ginyu without ever fighting him in base. Due to this, Ginyu gets beaten up so badly that he never has an opportunity to surprise Goku with a body change, either getting laid out unconscious or killed outright. Things would continue to go differently from here on out, as we have a Goku who never got a Zenkai running into first form Frieza. Now, if we were to take Goku's statement seriously, that at this point he was able to use Kaioken ×10, meaning at his absolute limit, his power level would be 900,000, which was nearly twice as high as first form Frieza's power level. Unlike Vegeta, Goku has no reason to ask Frieza to transform, and again, doesn't hold back at all. So upon seeing Frieza's ludicrous 530,000 power level, he immediately would use Kaioken ×10 and would hit Frieza with an all-out melee flurry, finishing it off with a Kamehameha, which might just straight up kill Frieza and at worst would extremely critically injure him, with a nearly 2-time strength difference. Now, realistically, Frieza would probably be barely alive after this. After all, Frieza has survived being cut in half. Still, even if he could transform or try to finish everyone off in his nerfed state, there are still other fighters there who could finish off this heavily damaged Frieza. Especially Piccolo if he was summoned to Namek and had the chance to fuse with Nail. But yeah, in this timeline, if things go right, Frieza is defeated before Super Saiyan ever gets involved. Now, funnily enough though, it's likely that the androids would just never happen, which is actually a bad thing. A no holding back Kid Goku against the Red Ribbon Army would have probably legitimately obliterated them with no survivors, meaning Dr. Gero never created the androids in the first place. Still, no androids means no future timeline, which means no heart virus medication, and Goku would still die. Plus, with no knowledge of the Super Saiyan and no threats after King Cold, while it wouldn't be for many years, eventually Babidi would arrive, and the story would end with him just winning straight up, with no one being able to even get a fraction of the power of his minions like Deborah. I'm sorry if this ending is a little anticlimactic, but in Dragon Ball, these tiny changes have massive repercussions down the line, and this is one of them. But ultimately, the lesson here is that Goku holding back is actually a good thing.
Yeah, if you think of it like that, could be correct, man. That's going to do it for the video. I want to thank everybody for watching. Any suggestions on anything else Dragon Ball related that you guys would like me to react to, because I'm just doing it. This is part of the, I guess, channel now. I'll be doing this like once a week, and then, doing whatever videos come to mind. So we have a lot of Dragon Ball stuff coming up. We have DLC from Sparking Zero. We have the new Dragon Ball Super episodes coming. We also have in 2027 we have the Xenoverse 3. So we got a lot of stuff, man. If you're a Dragon Ball fan and you found this channel, we got a lot of stuff to discuss, to talk about. Got a lot of gameplay, all these things, man. So if you enjoy what you saw now and you're just a fan of Dragon Ball, come back, hit the like and subscribe button, guys, because I'll be here, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
If you want more content like this, hit the damn like and subscribe button then.
Another Super Saiyan beat, biatch.